Oh, is this where I talk
you
now?
can.
Is this where I talk now, Joey? Is this where I'm supposed to come in? Do you like that you've lost full control of your show?
Hey, listen, Chuck. All right, this is important. All right.
Yeah.
Joey's dad just died. Quit being a dick.
I mean, Jesus.
All right. I was actually
on the recording.
In my defense, I was gonna keep the Zack Snyder burns to a minimum tonight, out of respect, Joey, and his grief.
Nah, his dad probably didn't like the Zack Snyder cuts either.
No, actually, I know he liked Man of Steel, but I think that's really all he ever watched.
I would say, did he tell you that just to make you feel better?
No. I don't think he watched the rest of them, though. That's just the whole thing. He was a Star Trek fan.
I mean, 4 hours for a movie is pretty long to watch, you know.
Well, you say that, but I'm going to make you guys watch it, so, in the future.
I'd rather watch Star Trek than...
Well, wait, which generation of Star Trek? Because if it's the original...
He was original.
Yeah, see...
I mean, he liked all of them. He liked all of them, but he, grew up on the original. So,
well, I mean, yeah, because he was, what, 74? So he'd have been born...
passed away at 74. Yeah, he was born in 49.
Yeah, so I mean...
When the show came out in 66, it was perfect for him.
Yeah, he was a teenager, so you just came from a whole line of geeks, huh?
Literally, yeah.
Ingrained in your DNA.
It kind of was.
Weird. Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and squirrels, welcome to one of many podcasts on planet Goddamn Earth, where we review anything and everything that's on Joey's stupid arbitrary list of stupid comic book related paraphernalias. I, of course, am the guy that did this introduction, and I'm excited to be here today because we get to talk about a good movie. Get to talk about a good one. Although I do have some gripes with Teenage Mutant Ninja
Shut up and finish the introduction.
From 1990, which I will get into as we continue on. Fucking Ron's here in a good fucking mood. That's great. Guess someone ripped his pubes out before we came in. Joey's here. Hi, Joey.
Hi.
I'm gonna only talk to you today. It really sucks when Ron's a dick and then Joey's dead to me anyway. So it's like,
I haven't been dead to you. Funny enough, I just finished re-editing the TMNT 2007 episode, and Ron was dead to you in that one. So
yeah, I'm starting to think it's Ninja Turtles and Star Wars where Ron's dick fucking mode gets flipped real hard on me. I just got done listening to the Star Wars Episode 1 Phantom Menace episode where we decided to bring up my failed relationships, which was great when my partner heard that, and I had to explain for 45 minutes why I'm talking about my failed relationship on a podcast. So
I didn't know you had a partner.
Love that for me. Thanks, bud. Thanks for that.
It gets brought up again in 2000 in the TMNT. So
I'm aware it gets brought up a lot. I'm starting to think maybe it's me. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Anyway, I mean, you are the one that brought it up this time.
That's true.
That's true. We watched a movie that I have nostalgia for. That it wasn't until today I realized this is not the movie that I watched when I was a kid.
Were you thinking the second movie, Secret of the Ooze?
Secret of the Ooze. Yep.
Same. Because I watched this and I'm like, I don't remember this part. I don't remember this part.
What?
I kind of remember April, but I don't remember this movie.
I don't remember Casey Jones being in this movie.
I remember Casey Jones.
But he's in the second one too, right?
I believe so.
Is he?
Well, I know he's in the third one. For sure.
Yeah.
Which I haven't actually seen the third one, but I know he's in.
Oh man, you are in for
a treat.
You're in for a thing we're gonna have to watch, Joey.
I'm aware that April's not in the second one because apparently after this movie, or maybe it's just not. It's Judy.
April's in it. It's just a different actress.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking because apparently in reading IMDb, Judy Hogue did not like this movie. She did not like the violence. I'm using air quotes there on the violence in this movie, but it also is 1990, so maybe violent. And
violence. They had swords and not one person bled in this movie.
Sure.
It's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's just weird that how little violence would she like to see from a movie called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Well, so funny enough, I also just watched the Toys That Made Us, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Toys That Made Us, before I watched the movie. And that was another thing where when they made like the cartoon or where they were trying to promote all this stuff to kids, they had to tone the violence down from the comics. Now, Ron, if you remember from the comics, those first couple issues, especially that first issue, is very gory.
Oh yeah.
So when that got promoted to being a kid's property, they're just like, okay, I guess we can do that. Because I will say this movie, and I understand it's a PG movie, felt very aimed at kids. Like there's
I'll agree for the most part on that.
I mean, it definitely was, technically was.
Felt like it was? No, it was clearly aimed at kids. It had kid humor.
Except for the Casey Jones and April parts, I feel like that was not aimed at kids.
Disagree. We have watched movies from the 1990s.
Okay, that's fair.
That's true.
The same awkward sexual
probably why
was in those two.
Yeah, there was some special attention paid to April's pointy nipples in this one, so.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, didn't notice.
Oh, so when Casey Jones is giving her like the neck massage,
yeah.
and he like forcefully sits her down in the chair, like they're just right there. And I mean, even as a kid, I noticed those kind of things because they just kind of stick out to you.
You're the horniest guy in the group chat. I agree. Yep.
That's 100%.
That is accurate.
Somebody's got to carry the torch.
Listen, I think we all try to give you a run for your money, and we're just like, I'm desensitized at this point just because of Ron. So.
Oh, see, I'm never desensitized. It always makes me happy. So
I've known the man for 20 odd years, 30 years. Fuck, how long have we known each other?
Jesus Christ, let's see. It'll be
about 25 years.
Yeah, about 25 years, yeah.
So like I've known this for some time that he is just the horniest bastard of all time. And I'm fine with it. I guess I've become desensitized from it over the years.
Yeah, it's once and tries unmuted. It's weird opening my group chat at work sometimes. Is
it the mix of sex and people dying in car accidents?
I don't know what's worse is the pretty much full frontal nudity that happens just when I have of course there's an employee walking next to me, or watching a man get murdered in a car. Pony.
The chick that got hit on the bicycle that just does like the fucking continuous cartwheel in the air.
Yep.
That was fucking wild.
Yeah.
The car that got ripped in half with the person just sitting there like putting makeup on, and then there's literally a dead body behind her. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fucking moose. I'll never forget the moose. The
poor
bastard got hit by the car that just flew through the air. That was wild. Anyway, Joey, did you want to talk about this movie?
Back to this movie, please. So watch the movie. I didn't realize Sam Rockwell was in this movie. Very
he's the lead. He's one of the leaders of the Foot Kids.
Allegedly, Skeet Ulrich was in this movie as well. I didn't see him though, but he was apparently one of the kids as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just like a like one of those short scenes where like pan over all the kids.
It must have been. It was right there when you first see Sam Rockwell's character asking if he wants the one kid wants cigarettes.
Oh, okay.
Just said,
well, that's
because I had paused it at that moment because I had to go upstairs, came back down, and it said Sam. Like I saw the Sam Rockwell, but then it said Skeet Ulrich. I'm like, where the heck? Like I actually had to rewind it and watch it. I'm like, I don't see him anywhere at all. But I mean, he was there allegedly.
Maybe unlike Sam Rockwell, he changed from a kid to an adult face. Dude, Sam Rockwell still looked like the same exact person, just with older features.
That's why I was able to recognize him immediately.
Goddamn Justin Hammer. Oh.
Also, there at the beginning, I know we talked about it before I hit record. Domino's was in this movie a lot, even though the movie was actually sponsored by Pizza Hut. I believe they wanted like some rights to it or something. But first off, when he's giving the turtles Mike the pizza, He turns it sideways and puts it down into the grate, which automatically I'm like, that's ruining the pizza because it's gonna fall everywhere. I worked at a pizza place.
Yeah,
shockingly enough.
100%.
Like
Sure.
it's good to do that. Secondly, they didn't cut it. What's up with that?
Maybe
they asked for it not to be cut.
Yeah.
Which is possible, but the only
Because
thing
that way when
Mikey was really like adamant about when he's on the phone with them was not putting anchovies on it.
True.
And you heard them
But-
the entire conversation.
Also true. Maybe they have a standing order there when they get the pizza that it just isn't cut. Because maybe that makes it when they slide it down through the grate not fall apart as much.
Yeah, but the guy didn't know it was supposed to go into the grate. Plus, if they have a standing order, they would know that these guys are serious about getting the pizza there in 30 minutes. Otherwise, they lose $3, which just means that the Turtles are terrible tippers because all they gave was $10 for the pizza and did not.
Yeah,
give the guy
that's
a tip.
true. Well, yeah, that's true.
To be fair, what does their income look like actually? Like, can they afford to tip?
They probably rip off the people that they beat up.
They have
You know,
to,
like
'cause
the lady.
how else do they? Yep. How else do they get money to pay for said pizza? Like, yeah, you're
It's
right,
not the
they have
March
no
of Dimes, okay, guys?
I look at so I can actually explain this to you why he was able to do that. As you said, this was sponsored by Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut wanted the membership and the sponsors and all that stuff. And in actuality, this puts Domino's in a terrible light. Like, it makes Domino's look awful. The pizza was late. It was 2 minutes late. Therefore, it was cold. Therefore, everything was congealed on top, so they could tip it and move it however they needed to. It went down in. It looked like shit. Like, the
It
actual
looked not great.
yeah.
I guess I kept saying it sponsored. Pizza Hut engaged in a $20 million marketing campaign tied to the film. I mean, that's basically sponsored, but
my
I
assumption
want to
would
correct
be
that.
my assumption would be the product integration. Well, I guess it was just product placement. It wasn't really integration. But
It also says here items included advertising in print, radio, and television, and several rebate coupons. So
everything
marketing.
pertaining to the marketing of the movie, but
Basically.
I guarantee you Domino's paid a fuck ton more than that to be in the movie.
And because they were in the movie, guaranteed people went to go get Domino's pizza from it, regardless of how bad it looked.
For cheaper because it was late, because they gave them fucked up addresses that didn't exist.
Was that a real rule in Domino's?
Domino's, I always thought it was 30 minutes or it's free.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Interesting. Maybe they had to do maybe they actually changed it after this movie to discount, and this was the way that they were telling everybody. Because it was like, yo, people are gonna try now, and we're gonna be fucked. Maybe it was a slander campaign by Pizza Hut the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, yo, now run Domino's out of business. Make them late every time.
I will say, even to this day, I prefer Pizza Hut over Domino's. I don't know what it is.
Same.
I just don't like Domino's pizza. Which
Domino's isn't bad, but Pizza Hut is better, but it's way more expensive too. So
sure, but like there are times where Domino's is fine, but I know there's somebody in my house who loves Domino's, and sadly, whenever we get pizza, that's our first go-to, and I'm not a big fan of that. So
okay, first off, support local businesses.
Exactly. My favorite pizza place is Aroma's, but that's also right down the road for me. You guys don't really have anything close to you.
We got
that's local.
I mean, I guess Marco's, but I don't think that's really local. That's local.
I think Marco's is a franchise also, because there's at least 3 of them in town. I don't know if it's a local franchise or
Hungry Howie's maybe then. I know there's around Fort Wayne. I don't know if it's a franchise nationwide, but either way, like the closest local, maybe Big Apple or maybe even Aroma's. I don't know.
Aroma's is fantastic. I love Aroma's.
Definitely not Pizza King. They suck.
Yeah, that's true. So during this movie, watching it as a child,
in a college town, so I've got 14 fucking local places because it's the only thing that's in this town. I got Tino's, I got Sal's, I got Nina's, I got Dante's, I've heard
about Nina's actually.
Nina's is good. Nina's is pretty solid. What's the
are Dante's pizzas oven fired?
No, it should be. Shit.
God damn it! That's a fucking missed out opportunity.
They do put garlic butter on the crust though when it comes out.
A lot of pizza places have started doing that, which is
Yeah, they've been
I
doing
love
it.
that. Love that.
They've been doing it for as long as I can think of. I typically go to Tino's. Tino's is kind of the go-to. Sal's isn't a bad second. Nina's too doughy. I prefer a crisp dough over like a doughy dough, which like Tino's and Sal's do more of a crisp. So sauce is better at Nina's though.
Yummy.
Yeah.
Very
Anyway, what were we fucking talking about, Joey?
Turtles.
So, watching this movie as a kid got me in trouble because when Raphael loses his sight and he keeps saying "damn," I started saying "damn" when things happen. Then my mom's like, where did that come from? I'm just like, the Ninja Turtle said it. She's like, well, that's a bad word. And I'm like, is it though? I mean, the Ninja Turtle said it, and they're good guys. So I mean,
you're not wrong.
Technically, it is a bad word according to Nicolas Cage in the documentary series that is about bad words.
Oh, yeah.
On
History of curse
Netflix.
words.
I don't know if it's still on there, but it was really good. Honestly, watching Nicolas Cage be full Nicolas Cage just swearing over and over again is really funny. Highly recommend it.
So when Casey Jones shows up on the scene, right, when Raphael's chasing down the bad guys, the little like thieves, did he come up with like hard cop vibes to you guys, or was that just me? Like where he was getting ready to just beat the shit out of these kids for like very little reason?
Kinda. Maybe not like hard cop, but like a part-time cop.
I don't know. He kind of came across as like maybe a hard cop that watched the Warriors one time. You know what I mean? Like, so he's got a gimmick, and which is sports. That's his gimmick, I guess, because he has a bunch of different stuff. Which, by the way, that mask, no fucking hockey player is actually wearing that mask. That is totally unrealistic of a mask to wear during a hockey game. That's terrible.
Yeah, but it looked good.
I mean, yeah, it looks cool, I guess.
For what
It
they're
looks
trying to
like
do,
it looks like a cartoon, which is kind of weird. Because I feel like if the rest of them, like if this is supposed to be Ninja Turtles with ninjas, and the ninjas have practical masks for the most part, kind of were actually practical masks, thin fabric with mesh eye covers, which I always thought was weird.
I feel like the mesh covered eyes would actually be on the opposite side of being practical because like that cuts spots out of your vision, makes it hard to focus.
Yeah, but I think the idea is that you can't identify the eyes, right?
Supposed to be. But also,
despite the fact there was one guy who's like, you could clearly. Oh, it was the nunchuck guy when they do the dueling nunchucks, which I was waiting for Mikey to just pull a gun and shoot him like Indy, but he doesn't, and it kind of bummed me out. I was like, oh, that's right, they don't use guns. Stupid turtles.
But dude, the nunchuck, the chuck off was fucking great. Come on.
I don't disagree. I do enjoy a good chuck off personally. A big chuck off fan. As much chucking off as I can get, I will happily have. Also, of the four, Mikey is the standout in this movie. Like he's the least involved for the most part, but he's got the best one-liners. He's got when he is got a scene, he's like really funny in it.
100%. Did you notice also when they're fighting at the end, when they're training at the end, it's always the other three against Mikey. Like when it shows all of them fighting, and he's holding all three of them off. So I mean, like maybe Mikey's like a sleeper agent or something, you know?
Possible.
Well, isn't Mikey the only one that survives in that one comic series?
Spoiler alert! Jeez.
Spoiler alert! It's been out for like what, 15 years or something?
Not like 2 years.
It's been out like 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh well,
like 2 years ago.
Look, it got spoiled for me. I've never read it, so you know.
It's a really good comic.
The second it was revealed, everybody just fucking ruined it for everybody.
Yeah,
nobody cares anymore. So.
But it was a really good comic. I really did enjoy that one.
Yeah,
the last run is what it's called.
Yeah, it was really good.
speaking of the foot and all that, when they came to get April, I think April was she at train or something? Well, anyway,
Yeah, she missed the sub.
That's what okay. And then the Foot Clan is there and basically saying you've been running your mouth, and the one Foot like holds out his hand, puts it into the palm out, and then slaps her. Like I laughed my ass off at that scene. I don't know why. I shouldn't have, but I just thought it was hilarious. Her getting slapped, basically her telling her to shut her mouth.
When we come in next month or next week and Joey's got a black eye, we'll know that he tried it on Emily.
Oh, I know better than that.
Do you?
I do. I tried to in the morning back when I worked on not second shift. Anyway, there were mornings when I would leave and I would go to give her a kiss while she's sleeping, and she would wake up and punch me. And that's just me trying to be like
Joey,
softly kissing her.
That's
Joey.
Love right there.
Joey.
Yes, John.
Blink twice if you need help. Okay? Like, this sounds like an abusive relationship. She's beating the shit out of you.
See,
men
Chuck,
can
that's
be
where you're wrong, though.
Men can be victims too, despite what I've said. Despite what I've said on Elite Eight Showdown. Men's mental health is a real thing, and we do need to take care of men, okay?
But he likes it. You got to understand.
That doesn't make it okay, Ron.
I am 100% fine.
I kind of feel like if it's something he wants, it does make it okay.
See, that's what that's
as
like,
a
Joey.
consenting adult.
Like when Ron attacks your relationship, that's what it's like.
Again, Ron knows better. He's met Emily.
That's true.
That's right. Emily is a.
What do we got? 6 states between me and Illinois, something like that.
Illinois, Indiana.
Yeah. So when you hit that 5th state, you're there, buddy.
Yeah.
And actually, I think there's only 2 states in between us.
Oh fuck, that's not enough.
Pennsylvania and Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But don't worry, Ohio's like 4 states on its own.
Ohio. So. Yeah, I'm not worried about this. She's not coming through Ohio. Fuck that. I'll be fine. My vibe for this movie is I know it's a big deal and I really like it. Like I do objectively like this movie.
It was fine.
But I never realized how shitty Splinter is. I don't like Splinter in this movie, and I don't remember.
You mean like his design?
No, I mean the character of Splinter. Splinter is like bad. Splinter is like so worried about his legacy living on. Like he is like the dad that like wants his children to do like to follow the thing that he like his career that he wasn't able to do. Like I just remember like I just watched this thing and the entire time was like, oh, he's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. He's like passing off all this shit to like these 4 turtles that he found and raised as his own and stuff. And it just feels like he's doing it not to help them, but to preserve his legacy. Because like in the Wizard of Oz, like the whole thing is like the wizard, everything that he gives everybody else in the group is stuff that he had, right? Like he gives the Scarecrow a diploma that was his and the heart and all that stuff. And like, it's just so weird. And then like, I was just like, I kind of don't like Splinter. Maybe because he's old and decrepit and they all have to take care of him. And it just resonated with me in my current situation. I don't know. But like, I just felt like Splinter can't do shit. It gets caught. Puts everybody else in jeopardy. Old man Boomer screaming at the clouds because he doesn't understand children. Like he doesn't understand the teenagers and why they want to be free and like go about. And he's overprotective and stuff like that. And then the entire time I'm like, Shredder's actually not that bad of a dude.
Except for that he's having kids steal everything.
I mean, I feel like Chuck might be projecting a little bit here.
But okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Shredder starts a youth group essentially for underprivileged children, right?
He pulls them all to the Double Dragon warehouse.
Right.
And then beats the hell out of them.
Yeah.
Well, has his right-hand man beat the fuck out of him.
So he teaches them hard work and dedication and never giving up. by getting the shit constantly kicked out.
Jesus Christ! All right, I didn't realize that Chuck was such a fucking capitalist. God damn.
That was literally my like exposure to karate. Was like if you wanted to do karate for the first 6 months, you got the shit kicked out of you. And then if you wanted to come back, then
Did you
had
ever
to, like,
think that maybe you just weren't
money.
good at karate?
No, that's how. No, okay. I went to a dojo. I went to a dojo when I was a kid, and it was.
Wait, was it one of those dojos like we see on the like reels now, where they taught you how to like use your stomach muscles to evade knife blows and
No, this was
where you throw people with your ears?
No, this was like Cobra Kai level. Like they won a ton of like national trophy, like.
Oh well, there you go, Cobra Kai. That says it all right there. Yeah, of course you're getting the shit.
Not bad. Also not bad. They're not bad people.
Initiation.
They're not bad people in that movie. So for 6 months, I got the shit kicked out of me. Shit kicked out of me for like 6 months, and I didn't want to do it anymore. But my mom was like, "You have to do something after school." So,
did your mom stay and watch?
Yeah, and would
she just liked watching you get the shit kicked out of you, dude.
Probably.
He was like, I can't do this at home, so this motherfucker's getting it here. This is what he gets for running his mouth all damn.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, Shredder starts a youth group for underprivileged kids to give them an opportunity to be something bigger than themselves.
Oh my God! So he was like the church.
And is it capitalist vote? Because they're stealing from the rich. They were just, what were they doing?
They're stealing from everybody.
Cars. They're breaking into fancy cars, taking stereos.
They stole that old lady's tiny ass little TV. Yeah. Come on, man.
They stole literally everything on the back of a truck.
That TV in 1990 was like $400. What are you talking about?
Which that lady probably spent like her whole 2 months fucking paycheck on, so she could get a TV, so she could watch it.
Old money. No, Ron, she was old money. She was fucking old money. What are you talking about?
Old money.
No. Old money would have been if they stole everything from fucking April, because April was apparently loaded. Not only did she have a fucking apartment that was a whole
to do. In fact, they broke in there. They were literally trying to eat the rich. Like
I'd have probably eaten April back in the day.
April. They were trying to get rid of April. They were trying to shut down the very like one-sided propagandist news cycle, right? I'm just saying. They were trying to take. They were fighting cops.
Was a cop doing that.
Casey was a cop. They were trying to fight cops. We just established that Casey was a cop.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
Although the one thing you need to do when somebody is blaspheming or slandering you on television is not to have them fired. That just proves your point or their point.
Yeah, but then they're out of a job.
Yeah, but if people
it's the long game, Joey. It's the long game.
Yeah, but for how long? Because by the end of the movie, Charles is begging her to come back, gives her a corner office, gives her the highest paid reporter salary in New York.
Yeah, but it's the 90s, so you know what she's got to do for it. Like, listen, we literally just saw a case of this, like, in the news at time of recording. So,
I mean,
so speaking of the fight scene at April's house, though, okay. So, like, they throw Raph through the skylight, start jumping in there, beat each other. Knock down the floor, great. I get that. The place is actually obviously structurally unsound because it's New York in the 90s, and probably hadn't been. Yeah, well, it was probably Rachel or April's probably the landlord, so it was probably also a slumlord. So like she didn't take care of anything, obviously.
Well, but yeah, she had the landlord because it was her dad's antique shop she was living above.
Yeah. So my question here is, why was everything in the antique shop soaked in kerosene? Because as soon as one little spark comes off that electrical wire that the Foot Clan guy chops into, the whole place lights up.
That might have been a gas leak, to be fair.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, definitely some shoddy living conditions out there.
Yeah. See, they were actually protecting her because they were like, oh, there's a gas leak in here, but she's refusing to leave. So what does they do? They're like, okay, we'll just have to prove it to you and blow her house up.
I mean, look, I may start actually be going with Chuck here because as soon as Casey shows up, as soon as the cop shows up, then it gets out of hand and they start the fire.
Okay, speaking of Casey Jones being out of hand, casually, now granted, he didn't actually go through with the murder, casually commits murder at the end of the movie like it's fucking nothing.
Oh no, he goes through with the murder. Like he kills Shredder.
But he doesn't kill Shredder. Because he comes
Shredder,
back for the second movie.
But see, but I don't remember how he comes back. Do you remember how he comes back?
He's found in the
Kevin
dome.
Nash takes over and becomes Super Shredder.
That's at the end of the movie, though. But either way, the fact of the matter is that it just he's not dead. He just gets hurt. He gets really bad boo-boos.
Okay,
but regardless,
I gotta change my kill count.
The fact that Casey Jones was going to murder him, fucking dead ass whoops and pulls the fucking lever to crush him in the fucking trash compactor. It shows that Casey Jones is a cop.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
And Raphael would then be Batman, except without the money.
I mean, if it's anything like, which, as we have established, that the TMNT 2007 anime movie is a direct link to these movies.
No, I think we established that there are some connections, but it's ultimately its own thing.
Well, regardless, he's literally Batman in that movie. He dresses like Batman. He looks like Batman. So this is like year one Batman, right? Where he's just got like a simple disguise of a giant trench coat and a hat, and not at all disguised. Actually, some of the
really great. Yes, 100%. But when Raph is chasing Casey and he rolls across the car, and the guy's like, "What the heck was that?" Which ironically was, I think, the voice and body of Casey. I think he was of Raph. He was a guy in the costume, and he also did the voice.
They're all over the place in this.
They're all in the movie. Anyway, but he questions the cabbie. He's like, "What the heck was that?" And the cab driver's like, "I think that was a giant turtle in a trench coat." Hey, you're going to LaGuardia, right? He's like, just didn't care. Like, that's just New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like New York.
Well,
don't you guys have the alligators in the sewers too?
Yes. They're actually in the subways. And they eat children.
Oh, when their parents bring them in to get sandwiches or what?
Yeah. Only footlongs if you order tuna.
Gotcha.
Then the alligators come out. It's like a whole.
Okay, so here's something else.
Also, don't eat the tuna. Just don't eat the tuna at Subway.
You should not.
I just don't go to Subway.
Yeah, I don't know anybody.
I actually haven't been to Subway in years because almost every time I eat there, it makes me sick. So
I can't figure out who actually is still eating at Subway except for apparently athletes.
No, they just get paid by Subway to promote it. I think the people that eat at Subway are people that have no taste buds.
Yeah, it's been years since I've eaten at Subway.
So remember when you used to live by a Subway?
I used to live by a Subway. I would get them at least once a week, and it was fine. It was great. It was yummy. But I don't know. I just, for whatever reason, I went there one time. This is fine. I just kind of
I haven't eaten at Subway since since I still had one at Walmart.
Oh, that was a long ass time ago.
Yeah.
That's a weird combo.
Yeah. So
it was a weird Walmart.
When they're watching the tortoise and the hare race on the TV, right? And Mikey's like, "Ninja kick the damn rabbit." You know what I'm talking about?
No, because I was falling asleep during this movie. I'm not gonna lie. The plot really sucked.
It's weird. First off, the fact that I had to pay $4 to watch it, Joe.
Hey, so did I. I wasn't too happy about that,
dude. Okay. What the fuck did you do, Joey, and who did you give that list to? Because every time we pop up with a movie, they take it off the free part and they make it a fucking movie we have to pay for.
It was literally I just watched this movie a month ago with my nephew and nieces, and it was gone.
As of right now, Ninja Turtles 2 and Ninja Turtles 3 are still free.
Sure.
So if don't say it. Do not say it. But when they come up on the list, if they're no longer free, we'll know. They got you bugged.
Okay.
But anyways, I quote Ninja Kick the Damn Rabbit a lot, and I don't know why. But
Now you know why, because of this movie.
no, like I don't know why. I always, whenever something needs kicked, I always just think to myself, Ninja Kick the Damn Rabbit, and like, yeah, it's got a special little place inside my head.
I do appreciate that they think all turtles are ninjas.
Yeah,
Like they just make the assumption, despite the fact that no other turtles are human size and walk like a human or anything like that. Do they explain why why Splinter is regular size now?
Oh, he also had the ooze. He also got the ooze on him.
Did I miss the part where he was like, "Oh, and then I got the ooze"?
Well, I think so. Part? He talked about finding the turtles in the ooze,
and then collecting them up. So he touches the ooze also.
Yeah. Although it shows him like getting a shovel and pushing him into a tin can. I don't know.
Right.
But even at that point, like the rat Splinter, the little tiny Splinter was already very I want to say Rizzo. I'll say Rizzo style because
he's got a lot of Riz. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yes, but these were Jim Henson production puppets. Like Jim Henson worked on this movie and provided the puppeteering for it.
That's why they were good. That's why this is good.
That's really why the only reason they were good. I would say Splinter was rough, but
yeah, but he was an old rat. You know what I mean? Like he's supposed to look old and decrepit. So
I think he actually looks better in the second movie, if I remember correctly.
Again, I remember
as far as the way that,
because I think I must have watched the second movie more than I watched this one because I did not remember literally anything from this movie.
So my mom took me to see, I guess it was the second one in theaters because Kevin Nash is in it because he plays Super Shredder. And I was such a big wrestling fan, I wanted to see this movie.
So you got to see all 30 seconds of him in the movie?
Pretty much, yeah. And it's like a weird reason why he is, because he was just somebody who was tall enough for that new, because the guy who was supposed to do it couldn't, I guess, or something. Yeah. And they were just
we'll find that out when we get to the second one. Because I'm sure it'll be
Nick.
Yeah.
we know Kevin Nash. So, but like, yeah, because like I remember Toka. I always thought Toka was in this movie. It's not in this movie.
Toka and Razor are in the second movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, where the hell are where are the goons? And then I was like, oh, I don't think I've ever seen this movie. I realize I have. Like I have seen it, but I was like,
yeah,
I'm remembering it at all.
Yeah, I definitely saw this movie. I just don't remember it.
Because the pizza guy's got 30 seconds. I used to think was in the second one, not in the first one.
It could be. And
then I got in the second one. The pizza guy is actually a.
He's Mikey.
What the fuck is his name? I can't. Yeah, but I can't think of the actor's name.
That's what this guy is. Because let's see if I can find it. It was in the IMDb. Everybody that was in the movie, like in the costume, was somebody outside the costume in the movie. Here we go. So Josh Pais, P-A-I-S, plays Raph. He plays the passenger in the back of the taxi cab when Raph hops over the cab hood. Michelin Fisti, who plays Michelangelo, plays the delivery driver. Leif Tilden, who plays Donatello, plays the foot messenger that meets April in the subway station that slaps her. And then Dave Foreman, who plays Leonardo, plays a gang member in the warehouse during Casey's fight with Tatsu.
So, speaking of Casey's fight, or I guess prior to that, when he gets out of that busted ass old truck and that door doesn't fucking shriek like 7 fucking demons are stuck inside of it. I mean, come on. Like, there's no way that thing's sitting in a fucking barn on a farm for however fucking long. He's just going to open that door up nice and quiet and be able to sneak fucking follow that kid.
Yeah, sure. Makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not? Maybe it got recently replaced. Maybe they were floating into a nice B&B.
Also, do you ever think that you ever think that Tatsu has just never been hit before?
He must not have. I mean, he's fighting like 15-year-olds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because like Casey hits
Yeah,
him
he
one
was-
time with the handle of that fucking golf club, and it doubles him over for so long that Casey's able to take a full fucking golf swing at his head. Like, he was just the fucking Tatsu was just the biggest fucking bully of little kids there is.
Yeah, he is full Steve Seagal in
Yeah,
in this
100%.
movie. Like, just getting like everyone's feeding to him and he's just flipping kids, and it's actually pretty rad. Pony would be happy about it.
I will say that this movie was the highest grossing independent film until the Blair Witch Project. It made 135 million in domestic box office and 66 million in the foreign box office. So,
Damn.
almost 200 million by itself altogether, which
is kind of weird to think that
pretty
it's
awesome.
classified as an independent film when, like, it
was New Line.
Ninja Turtles prior. Yeah, I know, but just Ninja Turtles prior to this was like really big. I mean, the cartoon show is a national show.
Sure.
It's just weird to think that like they couldn't get a big name.
They shopped it around. According to both, the Toys That Made Us and IMDb, they were shopping around to like literally everything: Disney, MGM, all of the studios. Everybody turned them down. Every single one turned them down.
Bet you they felt dumb.
Especially at that moment, because according to the movie or the Toys That Made Us, sorry, I said movies earlier. Toys That Made Us. When the movie came out, toys flew off the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
So like the cross promotion was just great.
I literally had so I'm like the most casual of like hardcore fans, in that like I had a ton of Ninja Turtle stuff. Like, I was obsessed with Ninja Turtles. I don't think I really ever watched it till I saw Secret of the Ooze, and the cartoons I rarely ever watched. I maybe had like 2 VHS tapes that were like bootlegs.
Yeah, we talked about that last time.
I love Ninja Turtles so hard. I like it like I like Hulk. That's how I kind of resort it back to, is I love Hulk in concept, but when you actually start to like read and like watch stuff that Hulk is in, where he's the main focus, man, it's hard for me to give a shit about it.
Yeah, we got
I just
a
want to
couple
watch
of movies coming up.
I just want to watch Ninja Turtles do ninja stuff. I don't need a plot. You know what I mean? I just want fight scenes.
Yeah, that's fair. Dude, I love
then-
the fight scene in April's apartment. That was awesome.
That was a good fight scene.
Also, the foot helping out, showing how bad structurally the building is by constantly chopping
it
very shit wood. An axe should not have been able to chop up the wood.
I'll agree with you on that one. Hitting those floors like that with an axe should not have been splintering it every single time they hit it.
Yeah, especially with how weak ass those swings were.
Well, that, and speaking as someone who has accidentally chopped an axe into a floor before, I know what it looks like, and that's not what it looks like.
I mean, I've thrown axes in a couple places around town. Like, yeah, it takes
it
a bit
explode
for it to stick.
on impact. Like,
yeah,
that's bad. Like,
well, it did for mine, but that's because the boards that I was throwing it into were already bad. Yeah. Apparently, they didn't change them because
that's about right.
Like,
also, not great training that they can't hit a giant ass turtle that is point blank range in front of them, who's rolling around on its back. Which also, how the fuck do those turtles get up when they're on their back? I thought the whole the way you defeat a turtle is by putting them on their back.
They were slightly on their side. Little,
but okay, on the side. But we actually know why the Foot Clan can't hit the turtles. Is Raphael talks about it when he's fighting them at first. He's like, "Where did you guys get the abridged book on ninja fighting?" Because they obviously didn't get the whole training.
They had to have, because they freaking suck. They're kids. I'm not saying
true.
Kids can't be like good ninjas, but I'm just saying that they weren't taught properly, because
the Ninja Turtles were also, kids.
Well, sure, but they also were training since they were young. These guys are like, oh, I'm an angsty teen who doesn't want to go spend time with my dad, so I'm going to spend time in the Double Dragon warehouse and get bitch slapped by this Japanese guy who apparently isn't actually teaching me how to be a ninja.
That's also true. Their mentor was just a fucking Steven Seagal bully. So they never learned how to actually fight. They just learned how to get the shit kicked out of them, which is why they willingly stand there and let the turtles just beat the shit out of them.
Exactly. I think that's why I like the foot in the cartoon when they were actually just robots.
Yeah. Because then you didn't feel bad about them killing them.
Correct. And you actually got some violence.
So I am fairly certain that I still have the soundtrack to this movie somewhere.
Okay.
And the Shredder's music always fucking rocks.
That's fair.
I think Mondo regularly releases prints of these on vinyl of like 1, 2, and 3, which is weird. Mundo, sorry, not Mondo. Mundo.
Nice.
Very cool. I will say though, the end song, the end credit song, was literally
Terrible.
the whole movie. It was the whole movie.
Yeah. It's just a recap of what we just watched, and also fucking awful in comparison to the actual Ninja Rap. Garbage.
Fair, but we don't get Ninja Rap until next movie.
I know, but it's
but
just like, why even try?
Said that Raph was the leader, which I didn't think we got him as a leader for any sort of medium until the most recent animated on Nickelodeon.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never seen it.
My understanding is I mean, they don't even like, it's like retcon. It's like they don't even act like Leo was ever the leader.
Yeah,
it's super weird. I remember a bunch of fucking crust fucking dorks getting mad about it on the internet, but the entire, like, the whole premise of this movie is based around like Ralph, and more specifically, like, he acts like he's actually the leader, and
he
Leo
kind of
doesn't. Like, Leo's like whole like, I'm a terrible leader and I need to be better story arc is not here really. Which I think we get that more in the second one.
I'll say, did we get in the second one where he was the leader? I don't remember.
I want to say yes, because I feel like I remember watching a lot of like Leo fucking being a just like Scott Summers level fucking crybaby about everything. But like he has, but even so, like when they steal Splinter away, it's Ralph who's upset. He's the one that's like screaming into the void and like, you know, it's like, we got to go get him, and like trying to devise a plan. Like, yeah, he kind of is the leader in a lot of this, which like the never ending story is Ralph is like, you fucking suck as a leader. I'm going to make
who the fuck is Ralph?
Raphael.
Oh, Raph.
No, Ralph.
Raph, R-A-P-H, not Ralph.
Well,
his name is Ralph.
Wait, you say it.
Raphael. So it's Raph.
Okay, what am I saying?
Ralph.
You're throwing an L in there. Like Ralph, the kid that shot his eye out or whatever.
Wait, you're saying what?
Raph, as in Raphael.
And I'm saying
Ralph, as in Raphael.
I'm not hearing a difference.
Can we just move on here?
It's Ralph.
You know, it must be a New York thing. I don't know.
Ralph. Hey, it's Ralph. I don't know. I have just Ralph.
Anyway,
it's Raphael.
I have covered all of my notes. So
I was waiting for. I just started doing it just to see if anybody would actually call me on it.
I saw it. I saw it the first time, and then you kept saying, "I'm like, what? Hold on."
Listen, I'm just trying to get engagement over at YouTube. Go over to YouTube and write in the comments about how I'm a fucking idiot. Okay, that's all I need.
Now, can you say it with an actual like New York accent?
Ralph.
You have a terrible New York accent. Are you from New York?
There
we go. That's what I was looking for.
Hey, fucking Ralph. It's Ralph. That's why. Because it is Ralph in New York. Hey, walking over here, Ralph. Hey, what are you, a fucking turtle? What are we fucking doing here,
huh? Awesome.
That felt stereotypical for some reason, like stereotyping, and I don't know why. But not for a New York person, but somebody making fun of a New York person. I don't know. It's weird.
That tracks. All right, so yeah, I'm done. I got through all of my notes. I don't really have anything else.
This movie is weirdly noteless because, like, it's a good movie. It tells a decent story.
It's a fine movie. Again, like I said, I didn't like the plot, and I kept falling asleep while I was watching it. Maybe that's just tired. But
do you think that they were trying to set up for a second one? Because
No.
it kind of is just standalone, but I mean, obviously,
Well,
this
and that's
movie
why
just
I
does
thought
fucking
that
gangbusters.
that Casey killed Shredder in the trash compactor,
right.
because it shows it crushing his helmet.
Yeah,
So,
but
like,
I mean,
thought they actually.
but then
I
at the
thought he legit
beginning,
killed him.
but then at the beginning, when you first see Shredder in the second one, it shows him unbending his helmet and fixing it. So,
Okay, see,
like,
I don't remember that. So,
well, we'll get to that
If-
when we get
if
to the
we're
next one.
going by this movie alone,
Oh, Casey is absolutely a murderer in this
he
movie.
killed him.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, because I thought he killed him in this too until I saw the second movie.
But then I remember the end of the second movie where Shredder does get killed because he electrifies himself or something.
He we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we should rename this show.
We'll get to that.
The rundown reviews. We'll get to that. We'll get to that when we get to that movie. That's what we should call
What
it.
we need to do is we need to remember when we say we'll get to that, and then we need to have a section of the show that's called "We Got to That," and then it's where we cover the shit that we said we were going to get to on the opposite or the other shows.
Here's the we have yet to actually reach a movie where we are saying because Joey keeps giving us stupid movies to watch.
Well, no,
Hey, we'll get to it eventually.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to it.
All right. Well, then we've done all of our notes. I'll go ahead and jump into the kill count. If I'm counting Shredder, because as of right now, I feel like I should.
Okay.
4. There's only 4 deaths. And technically, there would have been 5 because one of the one kid that Tatsu One Punch Man knocked out. Allegedly, they added in breathing and somebody saying he'll be okay into the American version, whereas in the French version, they didn't do any of that. He straight up killed him. So,
well, you gotta keep them all in line. You know what I mean? You gotta make an example out of one of them.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. But in the American
They
version,
edit
the
in
European
post?
version,
Was it like edited in post? Even?
Yeah, because apparently
awesome.
it was very dark in the the.
I mean, to be fair, this is
testing
made for
audience.
a kid. It's like a kid's movie.
Sure,
you know?
I get that, and it definitely feels like a kid movie. So
Yeah.
I got 4 in the kill count.
4 kills out of endless amount of henchmen and 4 turtles doing karate who are literal ninjas, and that is ungodly less than Batman by himself.
Yes, we know this.
I just needs to constantly be pointed out that
I
Batman
see that.
is
We
a
don't have to
cold-blooded
constantly
murder.
put.
No, we do.
point it out.
Party
We
with
do
me
that?
make the bad guys very tired, and then they go to sleep.
This is actually a prime example of just making everybody tired, because the entire apartment fight scene, they're just knocking these dudes out, and they're
Ew, and then they just left them in the fire to burn. So I mean, yeah,
yeah, but we don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
true,
they
we
might have
don't.
gotten
And
out.
then if
They
the
really
fire
have it on
kills them,
screen.
it's only 1 kill, right?
Then that'd be 5.
Correct.
Oh yeah,
it's
because
only
it's
one
one fire.
Yeah, it's only 1 fire.
It's only one fire.
It only got fired once.
Like April.
So,
All right, what's our bingo?
So the bingo, we have obviously product placement. We have the talking trope with the way that the turtles use all the 90s language and shit. Responsibility thing, comic book logic, ID revealed to a friend, ID revealed to an enemy, origin flashback, animal cruelty, a villain monologue, unexplainable science, and a training montage.
All right.
That's
Not
a good
bad.
So at
one.
least 2 bingos.
Chuck, Spawn Cape Continuum.
Oh, like it's the best. Like there's like hardly any practical any special effects in this. It's all
Was there any
practical.
special effects in there?
I don't think there was.
I don't. If
considering
there
it
was,
Jim
they hit
Henson,
it really, really
they
well.
correct 100%. I'll give you that.
The suits fucking still look good. I mean, yeah, there's like moments where it's a little rubbery, but like,
Well, yeah, but still.
like
Still look
this
great.
was a technological feat for the 90s. Like this was incredible.
100%.
And the fact that they're doing fucking karate, like they are doing ninjutsu. Are you kidding me? Which I don't think is actually a karate, but whatever. Like I don't think it is actually a martial. Is it a martial art discipline?
I have
Ninjutsu?
no idea.
According to Naruto, yes.
That does not help your case, Joey, at all. Like that is not a Good reference.
Oh, you know what I forgot to talk about was Splinter's psychic powers in that whole scene.
Oh, you mean when he force ghost into the fire?
Yeah, that was weird.
Okay, so did anybody else get the feeling that he was going to die right after that when they were first watched this movie? Because he's like, "This is my last words," and then like he fades away after he tells the turtles that he loves them. I was like, "Oh, great!" When I first watched this as a kid, I'm like, "Splinter just fucking died."
Yeah,
and then he didn't die. So I mean, that was kind of nice, but also like,
yeah, but maybe he does die, and then they had to reshoot it because it was too dark or whatever.
I mean, that could be.
There was a bunch of deleted scenes that is in the IMDb, so we should, in theory, get a Zack Snyder cut, right?
Oh my god! Can you imagine a fucking 1980s Zack Snyder cut of this movie?
I'm just playing into it now.
It actually makes it 20 minutes shorter for some reason. Nobody knows why. They had to cut out all the stuff to make it safe for children.
Anyway, finish up your spawn cape. Continue.
It's like a 36 out of 27.
Nice.
It's a good.
That's what I can get behind.
Yeah, it fucking it holds up. It looks great. All the I mean, just they did the best they could to make it look like New York City when it was like shot in the South or whatever. So
yeah,
it looks
100%. All right, so on to our scores. Chuck, what do you give it?
I mean, is this a Ninja Turtle? This is like a quintessential like example of the thing that it's supposed to be.
100%.
Like it's got all the original characters from the series, minus Bebop and Rocksteady, which is like a whole other fucking thing. But whatever, we'll get there in number 2, I guess. But like we got the Turtles. The origin story is correct. They do a great job of like telling something different though, like from what we had been watching. They make it feel real. Like this does feel like this is a real situation kind of thing. I'm gonna shoot probably higher because it is still weirdly boring. Like it's all action, it's really good, and yet I didn't really have a lot of notes. And my takeaway was, yeah, that is a good movie. I like this movie. Yeah. I'm gonna say 8.2.
Okay.
And that's just because of the ninjutsu and specifically Mikey, because Mikey is still my fucking favorite. Like, I used to think Mikey was kind of my favorite, but then I was like a hard on Donnie guy. Like, I loved Donnie for like a long time. And I realized, no, it's Mikey. Mikey's the fucking best. And Leo's still a fucking dork. Exactly.
Him with his Mikey.
He's the fucking best. I have like an entire fucking wall of like Ninja Turtles, like retros.
I was Michelangelo last year for Halloween, like on the actual day of Halloween. Now, granted, my costume was kind of garbage, but you know it was fun to make. Did
you just spray your body green and walk around?
No, actually, I wore a green sweatshirt and green sweatpants, and then I had an orange mask over my face. And then I made a turtle shell out of cardboard and strapped it to my back. It was pretty fucking awesome.
That's actually more effort than I was expecting from you. So yeah, actually pretty impressive.
Man, when he makes a costume, he goes all out. So
yeah.
And I had real nunchucks also. So I mean, like,
man, you just had those laying around.
Still
what you got, Ron, for your score?
Okay, so I love this movie. Like even as a kid, I love this movie, so it has a lot of nostalgia for me. But it was still every bit as good as I remember it being as a kid, which is saying something because a lot of the stuff doesn't hold up from being a kid to being an adult.
Ooh.
And as a reference to one of the songs in the movie, I'm giving it a 9.95.
Jesus Christ! Okay.
Wow, that's a high. I mean, that's. I don't even know that's warranted, but I appreciate it. That's really high. Holy shit.
No, there's literally a song on the soundtrack called 9.95.
I know.
That's why I did it. I had to do it.
Did you though? Did you have
I did. I did.
Listen, if I'm gonna nuke episode 2, then I guess like he can just
I'm very neutral on this one. I was bored watching it, if I'm being honest. And maybe that's because of the story. The fight scene at the very end with Shredder was cool until Splinter shows up, and then Shredder just lazily runs across with the.
Well, he loses all discipline and just decides that he's gonna, yeah.
So
It's
like
the emotion.
that was
the
terrible.
anger and emotion at a
Um,
rat.
I mean, that's true. He did fuck up his face pretty bad, and it wasn't even one of those like awesome scars that goes across your eye that makes you like a main character in an anime. It basically looks like he was trying to do something not cool to a rat, and it scratched his face.
Turtles were great. They really were. The dialogue was fine. Like, obviously, the cartoon made me want to say "cowabunga" all the time because that was what that was.
I mean, they do say "cowabunga" at the end of the movie.
They do, and it's Splinter that says it.
Splinter. I always liked cowabunga.
Yeah,
shut the fuck up.
It's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I would watch it again, but probably it might be a while. I give this one a 5. Like it's right there in the middle for me.
What?
It's
not even a 5.1.
Nope, just a 5.
Smack
dab in the middle.
Score.
So our gives us a combined score of 7.72, which puts it just in our top 10 at number 10, just below Blade and Spider-Man with a 7.73, and just above Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero with a 7.67. Honestly, that's a good spot for it. It's a fairly decent spot. It's up there, out of 85 movies.
I think it's probably going to be the last. It's going to be the last Turtles movie to score that high. So
100%.
Well, yeah. I don't know because.
I haven't seen any of the new ones. Like
I really enjoy the new ones.
I can assure you, Secret of the Ooze does not hold up.
Well, sure.
And 3 is a dumpster fire. Spoilers, Joe.
3 is atrocious.
Oh no, I know 100%. That.
And then I don't know. I mean, the Michael Bay stuff is fine, but I don't think it captures the magic like this movie does for me. So it's not going to score nearly as high. But.
I mean, they dive into the CGI in those. So
but at least and we do finally get Bebop and Rocksteady, which is sweet, but it takes forever to get there.
Yeah, but they're in the second movie.
Yeah, but that's like 6 years from now, according to your list. So
fair.
Yeah,
that's also fair. So yeah, that's honestly, like I said, not a bad spot. I like it.
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
So, Chuck, where can they find you?
Oh man, did you know that you can find me on the internet?
We did. Tell us where.
Well, it would be Kicked Out of the Hood. No Being Kicked over on TikTok and Instagram. That's it.
No, come on. What about Kicked Out of the Hobby and Kicked Out of the Kitchen with no ease?
No ease.
Isn't there once like kicked out of there's another one. I know there is. I swear to God there is. Because like you've posted on it twice. But I don't remember what the hell it was.
No, there's only 3.
That might be Kicked Out of the Hobby.
There's Kicked Out of the. I post more on Kicked Out of the Hobby now. If you want to see my miniature painting stuff, Kicked Out of the Hobby, No Eating Kicked on Instagram, Kicked Out of the Kitchen on TikTok, No Eating Kicked. The other one is my actual business one for my side hustle, but that's on sabbatical right now because me and my business partner don't have time to run our business, so doesn't do anything. So
what about the Elite 8 Showdown? I heard that was having a comeback. Is that going to be like up?
Yeah, at time of recording, your boss came back with COVID from Las Vegas, so
you called it.
Shocker!
You fucking called it. That's great.
Yeah. Yep. So he's airing out currently. I'm letting that pass through, and then we will start recording probably in 2 weeks from recording.
He needs to quit treating urinal cakes like they're mints.
This comes out in March. I need to still send him because, like I said, I just got done finishing editing the 2007 TMNT.
Yes.
I need to send him this week the 13-minute rant of you two dunking on Rebel Moon for the Patreon.
Yeah, you gotta do that.
So I gotta give him that.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, you gotta do that. Yeah, so probably by the time of release, hopefully episode 1 of the 10 episode arc, which I told you guys some stuff that we had planned, and now because of recent events, I had to scrap all of that.
Oh
So,
Oh
no!
no!
yeah, so because I was just like, this is all in bad taste now. Which has shockingly happened so many times with that show. Tim and I would come up
I'm
with
not surprised by
bits.
that. I don't think it's actually that much of a shock that you guys have
Yeah,
had things that were in bad taste.
Yeah.
well, no, it's the thing is like we shoot it and like we do the bits and like it's really fucking funny, and then some horrific tragedy happens, and then we're like, yeah, we got to cut all that out. This is what happens when we record a month ahead. This is a nightmare. Yeah.
So
So
that's why you do what I do and just don't care. Still put it out.
yeah. Here's the thing. I like to keep my job, and I think my job would fire me if they heard half of it.
That's
So
a good point.
yeah. So, Ron, where are you at on the interwebs?
Wow.
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Good at This Game, and you can find my art page on Instagram at Good Art This Game.
He posts the doodles.
Yeah.
Post
Actually, I
the
think
doodles.
Michelangelo might be up there too.
Probably.
Very nice. Very cool.
Joey.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Comic Rundown, Instagram Comic Book Rundown, Threads Comic Book Rundown, email us comicbookrundown@gmail.com, rate and review us on your podcasting app of choice or on any of the socials. If you do, we'll read it on an upcoming episode. We are on YouTube, so if you're watching it, thank you very much. We've got merch over on Redbubble and TeePublic, and our song was done by Cam. Our next movie, which I think I finally got the list corrected because I had, when I was filling out the calendar, I'd put like two or the same movie twice. And then I kind of like forgot a couple. So I think I have it corrected now. But our next movie, which will be animated, will be Superman Doomsday from 2007.
Okay. I don't think I've watched this, but it's been on my queue forever to watch. So okay, that's not bad.
I don't think I've watched this either.
I remember watching it when it came out, and I'm like, oh wow, this is like the best interpretation of the Death of Superman storyline we're ever gonna get. And then we got a better one.
So I already know what happens then. Thanks, Joey.
Kinda, yeah.
Jesus. Way to fucking ruin it for us.
Better one back in like 2015, 2016.
This is the era where they start releasing like movie adaptations of like, and it's like almost shot for shot the same thing, right?
This, we'll say almost, but this is the beginning of it. This is when DC, at the time, their live action stuff was kind of in the dumps.
Tanking.
This is 2007, mind you. So Batman, like the Dark Knight trilogy, was happening, but then I believe like Catwoman just happened. That was a flop. Green Lantern was on the horizon. That wasn't great.
We'll
get there. So like they kind of started making these animated movies, and they were just killing it. They were amazing. Now, mind you, I haven't watched all these in a long ass time. I remember specifically Superman Doomsday being good the first time I watched it, and then I rewatched it maybe a decade later. So would have been like 2018-ish. And I'm like, oh, huh. So I'm looking forward to seeing if that still holds up because it's been a long time. But yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it when we get to it.
2 follow-up questions for you. 1, you said you took Guyver off of this, right? List?
No, Guyver's still on list. It came out in 91. We're not there yet.
Oh, okay. Because I thought you had said you'd taken it off, and I was going to tell you to maybe reconsider that because apparently it's a Ranger related thing, or it's made by the same people.
I think it's made by the same people. I have to check because I put it on the list specifically. I can't remember why. But I also, a couple of movies I forgot were the second and third Toxic Avenger movies. So Guyver got pushed down a ways.
Gotcha.
Dick Tracy got pushed down a ways so we can get to the Toxic Avenger movies.
Yeah, we got to bring Jordan back on for this.
Exactly.
And secondly, what's your feelings on Superman War World Saga? Since we got time, curious.
That's the one that just came out, right?
I have no idea, but I saw a guy on TikTok who works at a comic shop that said, "quote If you are going to try to become a Superman fan, this is the series to watch or to read," which I thought was
Oh,
really
comics.
interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, there's a comic.
So I haven't read it.
Uh-huh.
I know about it. I heard really good things about it, but I haven't read it.
Okay,
So
it's a thick boy from what he was showing. So
it's 12 issues. Because it's
I don't know. The thing was humongous. So
if I remember correctly, it was the Action Comics run. Because I think Superman was not Superman anymore. Jonathan Kent took over that title, I think.
I mean, paperback it was $60. So
yeah, I think if I'm correct, I'd have to double check, but I've heard good things about it.
Interesting. Okay,
and it's a new modern, like it came out last year, the year before. So yeah,
maybe I'm looking at the cover right now. He's looking swole. I'm not really sure what's going on with his symbol chest plate thing, but
yeah,
okay.
Apparently that's something. According to the comics, that's something that once he came back, that Lois and him used in the bedroom.
And on that note,
it's time to go.
Ron's the one that's going to move off that topic. You know it's bad. Okay.
All right, everybody. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for
watching.
What
does he do? Super missionary? I mean, come on.
Probably.
I think he likes to be a sub in the. If we're being honest, like most guys who are like super dominant in the real world love to be subs in the. You know, they like footlongs, chicken teriyaki mainly, specifically. So.
All right, everybody.
Goodbye.
Thank you all for listening.